So here we are with the third episode of Tearmoon Empire. I assume we are going to head into the academy now that we've got that foreshadowing of the last episode. I assume we are. If not, then, you know, I guess we'll just have to see when we see it. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon and early access to non-seasonal and some seasonal shows on the YouTube memberships. But other than that, let us get started. Beluga. Saint Noah Academy. Okay. Really just drop the fucking information on us. This is all you needed to know. Alright, the opening, get in there. Oh god, the horses! Ah! Silverling, they're really out here, coming back with the horses to haunt me. How dare you bump into me, peasant! Good luck with that part. Kingdom of Sunk Land. Okay, so he's a part of the interfering with the revolution and stuff. Or after he tried to kill me, kinda. Oh no, the fact that he's... No, he's just... Oh no, this is... No, this is the flashback. Daughter of lower noble. Oh no. If you... Oh no, now that Mia's gonna try to fucking ignore him, she's going to get his attention. Damn. This is the new you. Right, he's gonna ignore them though? Well, Anne isn't going to ignore it. You can't just ignore it. Ah! Oh, you reap what you sow, huh? Why not help your bitter enemy and make them... She's not your enemy yet! Come on now, Mia! Yes. Yeah! Oh, she's the first Imperial Princess. You got sisters, Mia? Now I'm thinking about it. Oh, I shan't overlook it. Damn, dude. In one situation, he's already got the respect from her enemies. Thank you, narrator. But she considered me her subject. Whoa! She's giving me her... Whoa! She just ran away. Wow. What if she looks like fucking Christmas? Their happiness, oh my god. Okay. Wisdom of the Empire. Damn, dude. Her reputation precedes her. Wow. After seeing that one scenario? No, here's our, I thought that guy was the other guy who was right next to Sion, but he's different. Especially when somebody else gets to scrub me. Are you thinking that, or are you just saying that? They didn't even give you soap, they just gave you water? No wonder you fucking stank. Whoa, the princess scrubbing. Oh, whoa. Got a big debt to repay. Yo, write all that down later. Oh my god. Oh, she's a student president. Oh, alright, here's the flashback. What? Gives her trauma. Oh my god! Her reputation precedes her! How yeah. But she's... No, you have to... Yeah, just take Anne with you! She enjoys your relationship with Anne! She's so intimidated by Rafina. Dude, Rafina's literally just in the middle of the bath. Come in, Anne. You're suffering with me. So far away. Confidant. Really adding more water to this bath water. Would you be aware? Ha! It's another trauma. Well, maybe he'll ask you to dance this time around, huh? And then she was left alone. Wow, that's just absolutely sad. Ah! Oof! Okay, what is the second rule? Well, you're already doing that, right? You failed your first rule, but you're certainly doing the second rule. For the dance party. It's gone? It's like the several Katarinas. Abel. Mia first philosophy. I swear he's just going to like walk over it. Casually asks his plan for the dance. And puts too much faith into your cuteness. You know, I was thinking he'd probably just step over it, but he literally just like, whatever. He chose the girl. Oh, it's Sion who picked it up. She's running away. Wrong person who picked this up. Oh my god, we have the same handkerchief. Sun Clan. She's got double the... Oh shit, he's using your plan against you! New idea! You just dance with Tiona instead! I'm sorry, Sion. Oh, shit. Oh, somebody about to get slapped. Oh, shit. Not only was that a slap, he fucking smashed his head against the fucking wall. Instead of you approaching women. Name drop out here, dude. She's out here trying to aim for Abel. Yeah, alright. We'll see how that goes, huh? Okay, if they keep showing me fucking flashback of like the previous timeline and how pitiful Mia was. So bad. Alright, after credit scene or no? No, nothing. But an illustration of her two potential romance boy out here. Alright. Let me actually just write some of these small notes that I've been wanting. So we're gonna go back to the center. Alright, so that was episode 3 of Tearmoon Empire. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty nice episode. We are still getting introduced to all of our main players in this story, and not really sure if I'm not sure if we're finished introducing everything, but I feel like by the next-ish episode, we're going to basically have finished introducing everyone for the most part, unless there's like some late characters that comes in later on. And we're just gonna get past like the first stage, which is like this whole academy stuff. I did mention that this gives me very big vibes of Bakarina, and it certainly is there. But I still very much enjoy. I'm gonna talk a little bit more in terms of like the characters instead of like going through it one by one. But before I go through all that, I do remember somebody commenting saying that it feels like the biggest weakness point in this anime so far is the amount of flashbacks that it keeps showing us, like the difference between the first timeline to the second timeline. And I can kind of see that, but at the same time, I do enjoy the amount of flashbacks and just them showing us the first timeline and how things are different. So I do enjoy that. Perhaps if in one and actually I do like it more that they kind of showcase you instead of just like telling you about it. They do like show you the situation and like what had happened. So I do like that instead of just them telling you that like, oh, in the first timeline this happened and all that. I would have been a little bit more upset if they were to do that, where it feels like it's more of them just telling you and not showing you it. So I do like that. Was there a little bit too much in this episode? Definitely. I feel like perhaps once we get past all the character introduction and stuff, there might be a little bit less of that until we start getting more into like scenario. But actually though, even after character introductions, if we get into like certain scenarios, I feel like we might still end up getting like a little flashback of like what had happened in the first timeline and then going to see what happens in this timeline. I can definitely see that it could get a little bit too much, but we'll just have to see how it goes in this in this series. And with what I was talking about in terms of Bakarina, really gives off that vibe where Mia is kind of doing things and through her own special case of stupidity, she is getting the respect and the perhaps affection of others. And so it kind of makes me wonder if like we're going to end up with like this whole big group of just people who really like Mia, but perhaps not on the same level as Katarina, where people are just genuinely in love with her, and more of people adore Mia and, you know, they respect her and all that. And then of course we're going to have the love triangle, I would assume, between Sion and Abel. That genuinely, in terms of like romance and like romance interest and all that, I don't really give a shit. I don't really care about that. In fact, if Sion could have just continued doing whatever with Tiona, that would have been fine. But hey, now that you've introduced Tiona, hey yo. Speaking of Tiona, here we are in the beginning of this. Mia tells us her first rule, which is to stay away from high-risk individuals that may lead her to the guillotine, which not really a good idea on that spiel, but I will say, when it comes to the flashback stuff, I do kind of wish that they give us a bit of like a filter for like the flashbacks. It was really easy to recognize the flashbacks in the first two episodes because, well, when we saw it, Mia was already through in jail and she's having this horrible time. So when it goes back to that, it's understandable that that was the first timeline. And then when we were seeing it again in the second episode, that was when Mia was a little bit more grown up, so she looked different from how she is now, so that was fine too. But here in this episode, we're having flashbacks to the first timeline, but she looks the same as she is now. It's just that we recognize it by her attitude and such, and the narrator telling us. But I do wish that there was some sort of special, you know, just a nice little filter that goes around it to let the viewers know a little bit more. Okay, I forgot what I was talking about. Oh, the flashback and like the filters and all that. Yeah, I do think that that's something that should have been put in just a little bit, just because like it gets a little confusing sometimes, where it's just like, oh, it kind of takes a moment to click for it to be like, oh, this is the flashback, but again, I wish that they showed some sort of difference. You know, kind of like in mangas, where if it were to showcase you that this is a flashback, they'd have like the full page is like black, right? Like the background of the manga page, like it's all black to just let you know that this is the flashback or whatever. So that's one of the nitpicks that I have when it comes to them showcasing the flashbacks. Anyways, as I wanted to talk about Tiona. Dude, there's just something so funny about this where she's talking about Tiona, and like in the first timeline, Sion was interested in Tiona because of course he was. And so because of that, Mia ends up bullying Tiona. And she says that harassment became a driving force for Tiona to become a voice of the populace's anger and a leader of the revolution. And I was just like, yo, dude, she was driven by spite, dude. She was out here, because, like, when we think about it, they were in the Middle Island, the holy principality of Beluga. Let me get into Beluga later. But they were in the Middle Island, and, like, Mia bullied Tiona so bad that Tiona's just like, you know what? I'm gonna head on over to Tearmoon Empire, and I'm gonna help out with this fucking revolution. I'm gonna get you straight into the guillotine. Hey, yo, the power of spite. Let's fucking go, Tiona. Oh, that is fantastic, dude. That is absolutely fantastic. As Mia thinks about how she's not going to interact with Tiona, and how she was thinking about, like, oh man, I reap what I sow, you know, understandable, I bullied her and she fucking drove me to the guillotine. We see the situation of Tiona getting bullied by these three noble ladies. She's protecting this maid. I think it's also her maid or something. We didn't really get the maid's name, but just honestly, just fun to look at her. I'm just sort of like, I hope her name is Noelle or something. But Mia, who wants to ignore her, is unable to ignore her because, well, Anne is over here with a very high expectation of Mia. She has built this reputation of being the wisdom for the Empire or something, right? She's a goddess and such, as what Anne puts her up on the pedestal. So I do find it funny that she's like, yeah, I reap what I sow, and here she is reaping what she sowed. So she ends up having to help. We also see Sion over here, right? Mia comes in, she tells these people, this woman right here, this girl right here, I mean, she is a part of my subject as well, which I guess maybe she did come from the Tearmoon Empire, did she? But like, I don't know, I'm very confused where she goes. Hold on. Let me go look at this again. What is the meaning of this to make me throw a lifeline to my enemy? It appears that you were being rude to one of my imperial subjects. As an outland noble, ignorant of high society, did you not hear me? My favor extends universally to all of my subjects, including those who are poor and of lower station. If I see any imperial subject, I don't know, not really understand. Imperial subjects. But like, you're in the Principality of Beluga. But I mean, there's some people that comes from Tearmoon Empire, but like, I'm just like, did Tiona come from Tearmoon Empire? Or like, did she come from like, or was she in the Principality of Beluga? Or like, she come from the other island? I don't know, whatever. She's a subject of Mia. And Mia's over here, like, giving her a fucking backhand at the same time, too, right? Because in her head, or at least with what the narrator translate, right? You're nothing special, Tiona. And so, she does this, and of course, she immediately earns the respect of both Tiona and Sion. She literally is out here killing two birds with one stone and doesn't even freaking realize it. And then this part, Tiona's just like, oh my god, I and everyone in House Rudolvon were always treated as outsiders rather than subjects. Now I'm thinking, Rudolvon? Is that what she says? Hold on. Rudolvon. I did write that correctly. Okay, Rudolvon. Because I'm thinking Rudolvon, and then I think the other girl who looks like Christmas. And I'm like, Rudolph? Who knows? So yeah, Tiona's just out here. I've been working so hard this whole time, and I can't believe I've got tormented on my first day, but here's the first princess of the Tearmoon Empire telling me that I too am an important, is a part of her subject, even though I'm such of lower class and not important to her at all. And then Mia, who doesn't particularly have an understanding of how, she doesn't really, I don't know, I was gonna say she's not very emotionally intelligent, which is understandable from her, from her standpoint. She just sees Tiona crying. She doesn't really understand other than the literal fact of, oh shit, she's crying, which means something is happening to her, and it might be my fault because, well, she still has that trauma coming back in, so she's just like, here, take this handkerchief. Just runs away. Very fun for Tiona. So, after Tiona, we've got Sion. Sion Soul Sunken? Is that what it is? So, Sion, who, in the first timeline, wasn't really interested in her, but now that Mia has built a reputation for herself, and she's just like, what? What reputation? So, she has this reputation, so Sion's interested in her. I mean, his bodyguard, I would assume, is over here like, yeah, she arranged the construction of a hospital in the slums, and so Sion at first still wasn't interested in her, which I assume, where he's just like, well, at first she was either a sheltered girl who didn't get the values of things, or a bleeding heart who had compassion and nothing else. But then he sees Sion standing up, he sees Mia standing up for Tiona, and he's just like, wow, she's not a bleeding heart at all. She actually believes in what she thinks, and she's willing to take action, right, for somebody who is not as important as her. So, man gets, this boy gets, gets respect. No, this boy respects Mia. Right? He has a much higher opinion of her than he did in the first timeline. And I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say about Sion. As I said, I don't really care much about him right now, and especially if they are to put Sion as one of her potential romance interests. I don't really give a shit. And so the next character we are introduced to is Rafina Orca Beluga. When they were talking about beluga, I was just like, beluga like a beluga whale? Except it's a beluga with 2 L's, right? So I'm just like, what a beluga with 2 L's. But now that I've actually gone back to write Rafina's full name, right? Rafina Orca Beluga. The holy principality of beluga. They just love whales. Again, we're introduced to Rafina, and she looks like a fucking nun. But this is also a religious place as well. And I love that, she's out here serving as the student council president, because of course she is. And we get to see first timeline Mia's attempt to befriend Rafina, but because she's trying too hard, and I would also assume she didn't have a good reputation before, Rafina's just like, stay away from me. I don't care who you are. I would assume the way that she was drawn to Mia in this timeline is that she likes that Mia and Anne have a very close relationship with one another, and as what Rafina says, your reputation precedes you. She is happy to see that Mia's reputation is actually real, and she's even better in person. But I absolutely love that Mia is just traumatized by Rafina. So she just does not want to hang out with her. In this situation, she's just like, oh god. What? I don't want to be in this bath all alone. I need to get Anne in here with me. This has to be a 2-verse-1 situation. I need someone to be here to defend me so I can feel confident in myself. Fantastic. So Rafina already likes Mia. Good for her. Albeit Mia's just over here like, oh god, I'm so scared of her. She's so spooky. And then we have the idea of a dance. And then we go again to another flashback where Mia unfortunately had to attend the party solo. She didn't get to dance with anybody, so she's just like, fuck. New Mia's just like, what am I gonna do with this one? I don't want to ask Sion. I'm supposed to be avoiding him. That's the first rule. So she has this new idea that she's going to go for Abel instead. But before that, she asked Anne for her knowledge of romance. And as I was talking about the idea of Katarina, it's inside Anne's head, it's just multiple versions of Anne, and they're all talking with one another. And I love that she still has the idea of like, oh, she's putting her faint love for Ludwig behind. That reminds me, are we going to see Ludwig? We got introduced to him, and then it's just like, alright, we're off to the academy, so like, I don't know. So here we are in this section where we get introduced to Abel, and from what she thinks, and also what the narrator thinks, or Mia's plan is that she's going to get Abel because he's the second prince, and it's easier to get to marry into the kingdom if they are the second prince. His name is Abel, and now I'm just kind of thinking about is your brother's name Cain? Who knows? I don't think we heard his name just yet, but she thinks like, oh, Abel's not going to take position as king, and so that's why she wants to marry him. Which, don't you think that if a second prince marries the first imperial princess, wouldn't that up his ability to... I think it's still the same way either way, right? If she marries him and then they would strain the two relationship, but then he still won't have a chance to become king. Understandable. So that's one reason why she wants to aim for Abel. Not that she's actually romantically interested in him yet, maybe, who knows? But she just wants the power, right? Her Mia first philosophy. If she still ends up getting into a fight with the Kingdom of Sunklin, she at least has the support of the Kingdom of Renno. and they can do a pincer attack. And what, the fucking principality of, the holy principality of Beluga's not gonna do anything? I guess they're just a holy site. I would say they're probably pacifist, but if they're religious, then like... Don't mess with our Beluga. But we see that Abel's out here getting bullied by his brother because he's the second prince. And, his brother's gotta be out here to put him down. Tell him you should work on the sword, you should practice the blade instead, and then maybe the women will come after you instead of you coming after them. Because Abel's a flirt, a playboy, according to Mia. And I guess after this, he's going to be a flirt towards Mia. I guess, who we'll just have to see. But, Mia's out here saving him by doing the tactic of, he's my boyfriend. I'm taking him in and getting him out of this situation. Or in this case, I'm going to be the one who dances with him. Taking this situation, I do love the whole fact with, like, the handkerchief thing. And plans is all out. Which I assume she got this from, like, some romance book or whatever. It failed because Abel saw a girl. He saw the handkerchief and a girl first, but he's just like, I'm gonna come for the girl. Very, very fun. But I do enjoy this part where, like, the brother comes in to, like, intimidate Mia, and Mia's just like, pathetic! You're like a kitten to me at this point. I've had the entire ire of a revolution. And I had my head chopped off with a guillotine. You think I'm fucking scared of you? No, I'm just scared of Guillotine-kun. I don't give a shit about you, my guy. Fantastic, dude. Fantastic. But I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. The comedy situations I thought was very fun. And then the I love the continued, I like this budding friendship between Tiona and Sion. They just get along with each other very well. And also, I just love that, like, the both of them, immediate respect for Mia. So, very enjoyable. Will be nice to see more of Tiona. I guess you can say Tiona is the, God, it's so, Maria! There you go. I was like, Maria? Mary? Mary is also a character in Bakarina, right? She's the one in the orange dress most of the time. Maria. I would assume Tiona is the Maria of this story. But, you know, unfortunate if it doesn't end up the way that it is with Bakarina. But you know what? That's whatever. I'm not going to get my hopes up or anything. I'm just gonna assume that this is all very much adoration and not like pure love, you know, like we're not like on the same level as like Mary, who's just like, yeah, I wanna do things to Katarina, yeah. Anyways. Yeah, as I said, pretty good episode. We'll just have to see how they're gonna deal with all these flashbacks if they keep tossing us more about it. But other than that, thank you guys for sticking around, and I will wait, no, if I have anything else to say, I'll write it in the description. Alright, I'll see you guys later.